Hello and welcome back. Today we are going to take a look at the axis of symmetry a little bit more, along with determining y-intercepts. Just a reminder that we are going to have an exam on Wednesday of next week, and I'm after school Thursday of this week. Okay, so far the goals that we've looked at are what are the important properties of quadratics, okay, and how do we graph a quadratic function. So I'd like you to take a moment to take out your learning goals if you don't already have them out. And I would like to fill in some notes on this, so you can pause the video if you need to. Okay, so how do we graph a quadratic? What we start with is we start by determining the axis of symmetry. And today we're going to practice just that, even though you had some practice yesterday. Okay, and that formula is on your formula sheet. After that, you set up your table. Okay, and your axis of symmetry goes right in the middle. So you should get something like x equals a number. That's going to go right in the middle, and then you pick a few numbers before and a few numbers after. The third step is plot. Okay, so you select numbers before and after. Axis of symmetry. Okay. All right, so we're mixing two goals today. We're going to continue on with learning goal 3, and then we're also going to do a little bit of learning goal 5. Okay, so how do we determine the equation for the axis of symmetry? What must we always remember? Okay, and then how do we find, we're only going to look at the y-intercept today. So let's look at an example for the axis of symmetry. So to determine the axis of symmetry, use your formula page. Okay, so we've been looking at this for the past couple of days. Make sure that your equation is in this form. Remember, the a is the number in front of x squared, and the b is the number or coefficient in front of just the x. So you have to be careful to make sure that you have the x squared, then the x, then the c. And the equation is x equals negative b over 2a. Remember to always, again, identify the a, the b, and the c. And then the other thing is to always remember that your answer is going to be x equals. You need that equal to sign. That's really, really, really important because an equation means that you have an equal to sign. Okay, so an example. What is the equation of the axis of symmetry for y equals x squared minus 10x plus 2? So I look at the x squared and I say, okay, the a is 1. I look at the number in front of the x. That's my b. That's negative 10. The number by itself, c, is 2. The equation of the axis of symmetry is x equals negative b over 2a. So negative 10 divided by 2 times 1. So I get 10 over 2. Which gives me my answer is x equals 5 when you actually do that division. Okay. What is the equation of the axis of symmetry for the second equation? Y equals negative 3x plus x squared plus 4. So my a is 1. This is my x squared. My b is negative 3. So notice this is out of order. And my c is 4. So when I go to do x equals negative b over 2a, the a and the b only represent what's in front of your x squared and what's in front of your x. So negative 3 over 2 times 1. So this is 3 over 2. You can leave it like that. You can write it as a decimal if you'd like. It's up to you. Remember to have your x equals because it's the equation of the axis of symmetry. So you did that a bit yesterday when graphing. The other thing that I'd like to look at today without a graph from the equation is the y-intercept. So to determine the y-intercept, remember what we did with linear equations and the tests you had last week. When you had y equals mx plus c, the c was your y-intercept. So again, the number by itself, you can either look for the number by itself, or you can plug in x equals 0 and solve for y. We did that with linear equations also. So there's many similarities here. They're still both graphs. So what is the y-intercept of y equals x squared minus 10x plus 2? So look for the number by itself. It's 2. Or you can plug in x equals 0. So I would get y equals 0 squared minus 10 times 0 plus 2. 0 squared is 0. 10 or anything times 0 is 0, so then I just get y equals 2. So either way, you'll get the exact same answer. It's just a preference of what you like to do. What is the y-intercept for this equation? So you can look for the number by itself. The 3 is with the x squared, it's the 4. Or you can plug in x equals 0 and solve for y. So y would be negative 3 times 0 plus 0 squared plus 4. So cancel that, cancel that. Either way, you're getting the same answer no matter what way you look at it. So what I'd like you to do now is look at your classwork. It's a lot of repetition today. And as you go through it, I have the solutions in here. So I'm going to pull up the solutions so you can look at them and you can pause the video and go back to check your work as you go. The end of your classwork is some review, a little bit of linear equations, and a little bit of what we've done earlier this unit with graphing. So you're going to work on your classwork, and then when you've completed it and you're ready to check, you can come back to the video and you can check. So the answers to question 1, question 2, question 3, question 4, that should say x equals. Okay. Question 5, they're all here laid out neatly. Be careful, make sure that you're careful with these. The answers to question 8, question 9, question 10. Okay, and then the answer to some review. This was a review graphing. And then this was a review analyzing the graph. And then the last one was a review of checking, are they parallel, perpendicular, or neither? And you need it in y equals form first. Okay, so a reminder, we'll have a test Wednesday next week. And I have extra help on Thursday.